Okay, in our lesson today, we're going to look at atoms. But before we start the lesson, we're going to do a very simple experiment. Let's look at this piece of paper. What happens if I tear this paper into half? Okay, so I get a smaller piece of paper. So I can actually carry on tearing. And it will actually reach a point where I'm actually not able to tear anymore. Now, when this happens, we're actually looking at an atom, because an atom is the smallest particle that cannot be divided into smaller particle. So for this chapter, we're going to look at what actually made up atoms and what atoms are all about. Okay, so let's look at what an atom is made up of. An atom comprises of a nucleus as well as electron moving around the nucleus. And inside the nucleus, we have protons and neutrons. So these two subatomic particles are found inside the nucleus. And the total number of protons and neutrons is known as the nuclear number. It is also known as the mass number. And the electron move around the atom in pathway known as shells. So this circle here actually represents the pathway in which the electron move, and this is known as shells. So remember, the shells here do not refer to the eggshell that we see every day, but instead it just refers to the path in which the electron move about. So inside the nucleus, we have protons. Proton carries a charge of +1. It has a relative mass of 1. And the number of protons in an atom is known as the proton number or atomic number, and it is represented by the symbol Z. The proton number also tells us the number of electrons in the atom. I'm going to explain this later on when we look at electrons. Every element has a unique proton number. So you can think of proton number as something like the IC of the element. Different element will have different proton number. For example, a carbon has a proton number of 6. So any atom with 6 proton must be carbon atom. The same can be said for sodium. Sodium has 11 protons. So any atom with 11 proton must be sodium. So please remember this. Each element has a unique proton number. So the other particles that's found in an atom inside the nucleus is the neutron. Neutron is neutral. It does not carry any charge. So we say that charge equals to 0. It has a relative mass of 1. So it is found inside the nucleus. So the total number of protons and neutrons in an atom is known as the nuclear number, also known as the mass number. And it is actually represented by the letter A. If you see the periodic table, you should be able to find this letter A. And remember this formula. Nuclear number equals to the number of protons plus the number of neutrons. And the mass of an atom depends on the number of protons and neutrons in an atom, because these are the only two particles that has mass. The other particle, which is electron, has a very small mass, which is negligible. So let's look at an electron now. Electron has a charge of -1. Okay, as compared to proton is +1, electron is -1. It has negligible mass, or a relative mass of 1/1840. This is a very, very small number. So that's why we say that it has a negligible mass. And it's found in shells which surround the atom. As we mentioned just now, the shell is not really the eggshell that we see every day. but the shell here just represents the path in which the electron moves. And it is represented by the symbol E. So just now I said that if I know the number of proton, I will know the number of electron. Now this is because all atoms are electrically neutral. Neutral means it is not positive, it is not negative, it is neutral. So an atom must contain an equal number of positively charged proton as well as a negatively charged electron. So in this case, I have one proton here, therefore I must only have one electron, no more, no less. So in a periodic table, you should be able to see symbol like this. Na refers to the symbol of sodium, and this number on top, 23, represents the nucleon number. Remember, what is nucleon number? Okay, the nucleon number represents the total number of protons and neutrons. So this 23 here means that there are a total of 23 neutron and proton in the nucleus. And this number 11 represents the proton number. Okay, this proton number will also tell me the number of electron in the atom. So if I have 11 proton here, I should also have 11 electrons, since this is a neutral atom. And instead of writing, drawing symbols like this, I can also represent an element by using this way of representation, like sodium / 23 or 23 / sodium. Okay, where 23 represents the nucleon number.